Why were iPhone screens so tiny back in the day? Like the original iPhone only had a 3.5-inch display. Meanwhile, nowadays you have phones like the Pixel 6 Pro with a 6.7-inch display, almost double the screen size. Well, the reason is because Steve Jobs and Johnny Ive vehemently believed that a user should be able to touch all four corners of the display without having to use another hand. That meant that the entire user interface could be navigated one-handed. And they held on to this design philosophy for a long time. The iPhone 3G and 3GS also had a 3.5-inch display. And so did the iPhone 4 and 4S, which I personally consider to be peak iPhone design, but yep, still a 3.5-inch display. And like honestly, I think that Apple would have held on to that 3.5-inch display for way longer if it weren't for competition in the market. Because the thing is, by the time the iPhone 4S came around, companies like Samsung were now releasing phones with 4-inch and in this case 4.7-inch displays. But Apple being Apple, the first time they made their phone screens bigger, they went from a 3.5-inch display to a 4-inch display because they still wanted users to be able to touch all four corners of the screen. And then continued to hold on to that design philosophy for the iPhone 5S. But eventually, even internally, it got to a point where people recognized that one size did not fit all for phone screens, and so that's why we had a massive jump in screen sizes with the iPhone 6. And like, it really did feel like Apple going, here, fine, take it, because we went from a 4-inch display to a 4.7-inch or a 5.5-inch screen. And so that means that if you bought the largest iPhone each time a new iPhone came out, your lineup would look like this. 3.5-inch display, 3.5-inch, 3.5, 3.5, 4, oh, 4, 5.5-inch display. But you know, honestly, I can't think of a better example of competition forcing change in the market. And so now you don't have to wonder,